Can I start?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing well. So today we are talking about scenario 1, which is addressing intergenerational issues with solution. Next slide, please. So we have used the project management tool called Trello, where we have divided our tasks into goals, to-do list, and completed, along with images, notifications, attachments, and due dates. Next slide, please. So this is the structure of our presentation. We'll be talking about overview, introduction, stakeholders, and solutions with minimizing risks and success measures. So I'm going to guide you through the overview of the project. Next slide, please. So we'll be talking about the scenario which involves traditional approach to complete the project in an app development company where there is intergenerational issues, and there is lack of communication. That's why it is lacking progress and it is having impact on customers. So we are providing a solution as an IT consultant, and we'll be discussing about its impact, risks, and measure of success both internally and externally. Next slide, please. So there are 3 generations in the workforce, which are baby boomers, Generation X, or Generation Y, which is known as millennials. And we have divided into 3 groups, which consists of managing director and head developer in the group 1, which are baby boomers. And in group 2, there are graphic designers and lead programmers, which are Generation X, and the 2 junior developers in the millennials group. Next slide, please. So attributes are, baby boomers are in their late 50s and Generation X in their late 30s and millennials in their late 20s. And they are having intergenerational issues like setting timetable by group 1 and sticking to a project, while group 2 and group 3 don't like to stick with that plan. They want to work on multiple projects and update according to circumstances. Next slide, please. So what are the problems? They are holding a meeting which is rarely productive, and at the end of the meeting, the team members are leaving dissatisfied because of lack of communication and coordination, and which is having negative impact on stakeholders. Next slide, please. So as an IT consultant, we are analyzing the issue and we are proposing a solution to use Agile Development Methodology, and we'll be discussing about its risks and mitigation along with the success measures with employees, company, and customers. So I would like to hand over to Pramodi for the rest of our presentation.
Thank you, Sagar.
Next slide,
yeah, thanks. I'm Pramodi, and I'll take you all through the stakeholders and their impacts. So stakeholders are the people that can positively or negatively impact the outcome of the project. Here I've listed out the primary stakeholders, with clients being external to this company because they're only concerned about getting innovative apps developed and delivered quickly to them. But on the other hand, internally, we've got the managing director and the head developer, who, as Saga mentioned, are part of the older generation who likes to focus on one project at a time, sticking to a very strict schedule. Next, we've got the lead programmer and the graphic designer in their mid to late 30s, wanting to follow a strict project schedule, but want to work on multiple projects simultaneously as a way of being more efficient and productive. So the company can serve multiple clients at the same time, that is. And lastly, the 2 young junior developers who believes in fluid project schedules. And just like the lead programmer and the graphic designer, they are better motivated when they're working on multiple projects together. So kind of to keep their minds sharp with creating new ideas that could possibly be applied to multiple projects at the same time. So as you can see, there are 3 different intergenerational mindsets at work in this team, feeding into some negative impacts. So say, for example, when focusing on only one project at a time, they will be missing other opportunities from other clients simply because they cannot undertake multiple projects. So if 2 clients want the same thing done, it could have been much more productive for the company to work on it together rather than one after the other. And remember how Saga mentioned that they only have 1 meeting a month, which is understandable given who would want to keep meeting a team that you kind of don't see eye to eye with. So naturally, we've got lack of communication as another impact. And stakeholder lack of communication can also roll into delayed delivery to client and or go over the budget, but all stemming down to the incohesive team with low morale. And as a rule of thumb, problems inside will be related to the external stakeholder when the product or app is costlier or is delayed, which means now it has a risk of being obsolete for the client. Or potential clients can get disheartened when they're told to wait until the current project finishes till theirs can start. So due care must be taken to when balancing these intergenerational differences in thinking to minimize their negative impacts. Thank you. I will now pass on to Naresh to continue.
Hi everyone, my name is Naresh and my today's topic is, can somebody change the screen?
No.
No, I can't see my face.
But we can see you.
Okay, so my today's topic is Agile approach. So we have chosen this Agile approach because the company is facing the collaboration between the team members and they are not able to decide what they actually want to achieve on a specific period of time. So there are different methodologies available, and Agile is the most efficient when there is a case of many requirement changes. So what Agile is a process that helps teams provide quick and unpredictable response to the feedback they receive on the projects. Team assess the projects in regular meetings called sprints or iterations. It is a very empowering process that helps company design and build the right products. The process is very beneficial because software companies helps them to analyze and improve the products throughout the development, and it enables the company to produce a highly valuable product so that they can stay competitive in the markets. So there are different principles and values of the Agile approach. So by considering all those approach, I have came up with these four values, I would say solutions for the company. Since the different team members are lacking in collaboration, so this approach will help the stakeholders and the developers collaborate closely on a daily basis. And of course, customer satisfaction will always be the highest priority. And in case there is a changes in the requirement, that can be easily adaptable by the developers. And the last one is the faster detection of issues and defects, which is really going to help the developers. So next slide, please. So Agile have different frameworks called, the one is the Scrum, the other is the Extreme Programming, the third is the Kanban. So we have used here the Scrum framework. So it focuses more on delivery called sprints and meeting structures. And this includes the planning where the sprint priorities are identified. Also the commitment where the team reviews a list of backlog of user stories and decides how much work can be done in the sprint duration. And the next one is the daily stand-up meetings. This is where the teams can communicate updates on the development status and strategies. And sprints, it ends with the demo meeting where the functionality is shown to the product owner, followed by a retrospective meeting where the team discuss what went well and what needs improvement in the process. So as you can see in the diagram, the whole project is divided into smaller chunks of backlog, and this backlog is given a specific period of duration to get it done and release it to the productions. And after doing so, after a specific period of time, all these backlogs, all these products development has been, they merge together to deliver one single product to the customers. So this is all about the Agile framework, and the next part will be explained by my friend Gagan.
Thank you, Naresh. I'm going to talk about minimizing the risk. Firstly, a risk is an uncertain event or a condition. If it occurs, has a positive or a negative impact on a project's objectives. Normally, there are three types of risks: business risk, non-business risk, and the financial risk. The risk which the scenario facing is a non-business risk. And coming to minimizing the risk using the agile testing method, we have got few challenges, and we have got some methods to overcome it. Frequently changing requirements is one of the challenge, and we need to perform risk analysis and test at high priority tests to overcome it. And the next one is the team members containing an incomplete information. So they need to have a good knowledge about the project and the concept. And the other thing is also the lack of communication. They need to have an effective communication within the group so that they can understand each and every single thing. And finally, there is a chance of lack of technical skills as well. So they need to be stay updated with the technology. And to minimize the risk, we are suggesting to create a management risk plan. It's an document prepared by project manager. It foresees the risks, estimate the impacts, and define responses to the risks. And there are five steps to overcome the risk management process. Firstly, they need to identify the risk. Then they need to analyze the risk, and they need to evaluate the risk. Fourthly, they need to treat the risk, and finally, they need to monitor and review the risk. That's all. Thank you. I will pass it to Oshan. Oshan will continue.
Thank you, Gagan, and hello, everyone. So far, we have seen how agile methodology can be used to build and deploy software package easily and efficiently. But how do we know that we are doing it in the best way, or is agile methodology is working better for us? So that's why we have come up with these measures. We have 5 key measures to check if the methodology is working in a good way. The first one is surveys. Very simple and quick way to gather data. We can use online tools such as Google Forms or SurveyMonkey. And the second one is setting a ground zero. What does it mean by setting a ground zero? Is creating a reference point or a baseline. So we can compare what we are doing and how we are growing, how we achieve our target. And the third one is communication effectiveness. We always need to check if the process is going well within the organization by checking each employee's communicating and giving feedbacks and responses in an effective manner. The fourth one is employee satisfaction. No matter how which method we use, if the employees are not satisfied, because we believe that happy employee brings happy customers, happy customer relationship. So employee satisfaction is a key point. And the last one is project management. For this one, we need to mainly focus on cost, time, and the quality trial, also known as performance triangle. So this will bring to the next important thing, which is customers, because customers are always source of information and ideas by giving their feedbacks and responses, and actively engaging the business by shaping the business. And most importantly, customers are the number one thing to sustain a business. In the long run, business needs customers more than anything else. So that's why biggest companies, so most of the companies around the world are spending a lot of money improving customer experience for customer retention, customer satisfaction, and improving the selling. Here we have the customer life cycle, starting from the discover, the very moment customer see a product, the customer life cycle starts. It's a very straightforward image, can be understood easily. Discover, pay, customer service, retention. This retention means return customer or keeping the customer in the long run. So we have covered how to measure success within the organization, especially when we use the methodology such as Agile methodology, and how it affects internal customers, internal employees, and customers' life cycle. So that's it for our presentation. I would invite Gurpreet to conclude the presentation by giving a recap. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Gurpreet. I'm going to talk about the conclusion. So it says that intergenerational difference in thinking can be seen in a workplace, which can be solved with communication and right approach. So for that, we need to analyze the issue, the impact on stakeholders and the customers, the causes and the effects. We need to respect the generation gap as well. And we need to set the expectations regarding the workplace culture and behavior. We should use different types of communication when we are dealing with different kinds of people of different age groups. We should personalize our approach, and we should understand the differences in values. We should always ask for the clarifications rather than just assuming it. And we should remove barriers to the communication, and we should be willing to teach and be taught, and we should acknowledge the differences. The negative impacts could be missed new client opportunities, the lack of communication. So the lack of communication can lead to misleading to other opportunities, and it could be costlier or delayed product delivery. So if one miscommunicates to the other person, it could lead to the delayed services, and ultimately it can lead to the client's dissatisfaction. Next slide. So the faster detection of issues and defects, as discussed by Naresh, the Agile methodology, it is very helpful in detecting faster for the issues and the defects. We should create a management risk plan, which was already discussed by one of my team members. We should analyze the risk. We should do step-by-step approach in analyzing the risk and then come to a conclusion. And then measuring the internal success is a very important thing to get the good customer relationship. So in order to be successful in the industry, we need to have a good customer relationship within the industry, and also with a sound, good relationship with the customers as well. That's all.
Thank you. Any questions? On the recording.
Okay. I think that's it. Let's wrap up the presentation.